part of the setting is that it's based on a pre-Columbian Americas, or also you could say post-Columbian if Columbus never came, so it wouldn't be called post-Columbian. But
Right.
anyway, so given that, and given some of the cultures that go into a setting like that, it was important to me that I did my homework on those actual cultures, but that I wasn't, one, just trying to copy them, or two, that I wasn't doing anything that would be um, anywhere on the scale from stereotypical all the way to racist or misappropriating, anything like that. So that's kind of the third component here that played into why I've looked at going into this depth on this project. So I just wanted to put that out there too.
Good. That's I think that was my point. Of research and respect are like the two most important things when you're dealing with the culture outside of your own. And which, since we're writing fantasy, pretty much, unless you're dealing with that living culture kind of thing right now within it, then you're always doing that. So like you're already on the right track in my opinion on that one. Do you know do you know how long the series you think is going to be?
I'm looking at probably around 7 books. They're going to be shorter. My style, kind of my tagline is fast-paced fantasy with heart. So starting out, my goal is with most projects, is to be anywhere between 70 and 100K. I find if I shoot for about 80, I usually end up closer to 100. So, but yeah, kind of somewhere in between where, it's not going to be a doorstop, but it's also not going to be something that people finish and they're like, oh, well, this is over already. Well, hopefully they'll think that anyway, because it will be so good. But yeah, so kind of in that range where we're not really in the epic realm. But yeah, and we'll see where it goes. Obviously, I want to have a complete story in the 7 books that I'm looking at, 6, 7 books. But we'll see how things go from there. With the
And
world.
what mood and tone are you looking for?
Kind of some of the comparisons that I'm putting out are similar to Cradle. So, rooting for an underdog. Again, when I say fast-paced epic fantasy with heart, it's characters that you want to root for. So, this is kind of going to be a little bit different setting, in that it'll be, most or all fantasy settings, I would say, are pretty harsh or dangerous, and that's where a lot of the excitement comes from. But this will definitely be more, I guess you could say, kind of maybe untamed is the word, or just a lot of nature and wilderness that we're exploring. So there will be some opportunities, and certainly some cities and things that we'll go into. But this first book especially, there's going to be a lot of man versus nature scenes coming up and stuff going on.
Okay, so I was assuming you're going to be using Mayan analogs. Is that correct, or?
Right. So some of the cultures that I did, well, I'll just list the ones that I did most of my homework or research into. The Mayans and the Aztecs, so kind of Mesoamerica, South America, the big one there being the Inca culture, and also some of its predecessors. And then North America, I've done a lot of research previously on like the plains cultures. So my focus with this project was expanding that to some of the Eastern cultures. You think of the mound builders, so looking like the predecessors to the Iroquois, for example, mound builders, the ancestral Pueblo, kind of a little bit of everything. I wanted to, again, talking about pre-Columbian, rolling back before a lot of the tribes or cultures that maybe exist today, and looking at their predecessors in setting up and building this world.